Today I'm going to speak about the importance to give a meaning to your life if you want to heal quicker, and about mistakes some people make which either trigger disease or prevent them from healing. If you are here, I suppose that you have a reason. Probably either you have a serious disease and you want to know how to heal yourself better, or you want to help someone you love. If you are here to recover, the first question you have to ask yourself is why. Why do you want to heal? Why to stay alive and be healthy? Does your life have a meaning for you? And whether this meaning is more important than your suffering and all other reasons responsible for your disease. Let's analyze all this point by point. People who are determined to heal, survive and heal whatever was their disease. People who have a strong motivation to stay alive, recover. People who know why they should continue their life and what they should do, survive. To find this motivation and to give a meaning to your life is fundamental for your healing. There is no life without meaning. Every person's life has a meaning, but not every person is conscious of it. As long as we are not living in a social vacuum, everything we do has an impact on others, making them evolve, understand something important for them, changing their life, whether we want it or not, whether we realize it or not. It happens, and it's inevitable. This is already meaning. Any relationship is based on a mutual influence that we can't avoid. There are no useless people. We are all useful in one way or another, whatever we and ours think about it. But there is a difference between having a meaning and giving a meaning. Independently of the fact that our lives have meaning in any case, it's also important to realize what meaning you choose to give to your life. Here, there is no unique answer for everybody. You have to choose your own. Moreover, you can have several meanings. For example, for one category of people, it's important to be useful for others, to help them, to serve them, to protect or to save them, to love them, to teach them, to transmit something to them, to create something useful, beautiful. When they feel loved, recognized, useful, they think that their life has a meaning and they have a worth. For another category of people, it's important to realize themselves, their talents, abilities, genius, intelligence, goals, plans, dreams. It gives self-satisfaction, but also projects them into their future, occupies their mind by present and future plans and projects instead of regrets about the past. For our people, it's important to fully experience life as an adventurous, beautiful journey, to learn to discover, to test themselves and to test life. Their life's meaning is to enrich themselves by this unforgettable and unique experience. For other people, life's meaning is to be happy, to be able to appreciate everything, to be in love. For them, love is not a mean, but a self-sufficient goal, a natural state of being, state of mind and heart, independent on others' response. Statistically, happy, loving people with positive state of mind live longer and healthier. They are the example of life's meaning. Some people include all of the mentioned above. You have a choice, and you have to choose yours. Unfortunately, some people live for wrong reasons, such as a material chase, a search for recognition by others, by people who are unable to do it, a search for love and acceptance through self-sacrifice, or even worse, a choice of being an eternal victim of past traumas. All of them are the deadlocks where the satisfaction always escapes, and feeling of resentment, injustice, suffering or insecurity constantly grow up, creating stress and depression, which trigger different diseases, as you know. Sometimes the material chase brings more insecurity than security it was supposed to give, but also makes you sacrifice your family, your hobbies, your spare time, your life. An effective dependence on others can be also very difficult to live. Sacrifices never pay. A habit to live in the past and an inability to forgive take your energy and your health. You can now analyze and understand what was wrong in your life, what created your disease. Because in most cases, the emotional compound is a necessary basis for sickness. Otherwise, your immune system would have successfully protected you. If loving someone is one of the most important motivations to survive, some people go to an extreme. A mistake is to limit the meaning of your life to one particular person, your partner, your child, your parent, or someone else. This love connection is healing as long as both are alive and relationship is healthy and satisfying. But in case if this person who was playing a role of the only pillar holding the roof of your emotional stability disappears, the roof will collapse, and it may completely destroy your life. The disappearance of what was supposed to be the only meaning of life deprives the person of motivations to fight for his or her life and health. You can live for somebody else, but you can't live just for somebody else. And our mistake of some people is an imbalance in their life's priorities. We have rarely the chance to be completely independent. I'm speaking about independence with wide and various meanings of this word. More often, In our everyday life, we depend more or less on almost everything and everybody. In this case, either our wise consciousness or a situation like an announcement of a disease can make us take a distance from our existence and to see more clearly where we made a mistake. For example, some people have everything we need: work, family, money, etc. But their priorities are focused more on one goal. For example, a career or a child, to the point that they neglect other things and people to finally lose them. Moreover, they neglect themselves. They feel uncomfortable and unsatisfied, but convinced that what they do is right, or that they have no choice. And they do it because they have to be responsible. The problem is that they misunderstand the meaning of the word responsible. They forget that they are also responsible for their health and for their happiness, both being connected. They forget that health is the basis letting us do everything else. Without health, it becomes much more difficult to succeed in any career, or to educate correctly a child, etc. While we abuse our body's capacities, exhausting ourselves for any other goal, we don't understand that without health we can't succeed this goal. Moreover, without help, this goal often loses its worth. So, sometimes, the disease shows us what should be our real priority, makes us find a balance in our life, makes us start from our inner well-being in order to succeed later all our external goals. Well-being is not an egoistic desire, but a necessary foundation for your health. The immune system works perfectly when the mind is happy and positive, and stops working when the mind is exhausted by depression and long-lasting stress or suffering. So find your sources of well-being and happiness to recharge your immune system. Try to change your way of being. Try to change your way of seeing your other priorities. Your work should be a source of self-satisfaction and happiness. If it's not, think about changing your job or your way of working. Also, it's not the final success which is the most important, but the process which should bring you positive emotions all along you are engaged in it. If your previous priority was your children's education, you should realize that the best education is transmitted by your example and not by your words and sacrifices. Children are clever. They modelize your way of being. If you are happy, they will learn how to be happy thanks to your example. If you are not, they may absorb this model also and tend to repeat it later in their life. Parental sacrifices are not only worthless but also dangerous for children. Because first of all, they inherit the responsibility for these sacrifices. And second, they start thinking that the way of sacrifice is natural and necessary in life. Imagine children having a sick parent who never took care of himself because he privileged his children. It's a heavy responsibility for them to know that they are the reason for their parents' disease. It's not a gift, but a punishment. Now imagine an opposite situation. A parent taking care of his physical and emotional health is naturally more serene, happy, and available for his children. Their relationship is healthier. The education is easier. Children learn to be happy and healthy. What could be a better education to transmit to them than to teach them to be happy? So, reorganize your priorities. Transform them into a source of bliss for you, and only then for others. Your health will follow. When you are happy, you heal quicker and easier. When you are happy and healthy, people like you more because your relationships become more positively charged. People are attracted by happy and positive people and tend to avoid people with problems, complaining all the time. Here, it's necessary to mention another mistake some people make. Usually it concerns those who felt unloved before. Suddenly, with the announcement of the disease, they realize that others start taking care of them, surround them with attention. They conclude that to be loved, they need to stay sick, because if they heal, they are afraid to lose this attention. This is a big mistake, which can cost them their life. They lose all motivation to heal and scuttle the treatments in order to go on receiving this attention. What happens in reality? In the beginning, in fact, surrounding people may feel guilty and try to pay more attention to the sick person. But with time, it becomes heavier and heavier to stand, because nobody likes to feel guilty, and nobody likes to feel responsible for the health of somebody else. These people, who were sincere and generous in the beginning, when their attention was spontaneous, start perceiving it with time as a duty. Love can't be duty. Duty kills love. Nobody can't love because he or she must do it. The relationship between a sick person and others become complicated and unhealthy because based on duty and responsibilities. It can become even worse if a sick person uses blackmail when his or her behavior is saying, "If you don't love me, I will die." Sincere feeling of love and compassion are from this moment filled with resentment. The relationship worsens. The people who make this error should realize that not only they will not be loved for being sick, but on the contrary. Sickness can attract their attention, but it can't hold it for a long time. They have to understand also that they can be even more loved and in a healthy way when they recover. Another mistake some people make is to focus their life on their disease instead of life itself and healing, and to assimilate their identity to the disease. It can happen to people who had no an interest in life before, or considered themselves as not interesting for others. Now that they are sick, and they may abandon their work, hobbies and other activities to concentrate all their time and attention to their disease. This disease may become their second self, filling the void in their life. So they think about the disease, they speak about it, all their life turns around it. They even can have an impression that it can interest other people surrounding them. Disease becomes the subject of any conversation. In these circumstances, recovering would mean to lose all these benefits. The problem is that often they are not ready to lose them. Moreover, recovering would mean to start a new life, filling it with other activities, a work and other subjects of conversation. The problem is that they forgot what it is. Recovering means to be somebody else than a sick person. To build a new healthy identity disconnected with this disease. For some people it's easy. For others who made this mistake, it can be challenging. In any case, being healthy is a choice. Staying sick is also a choice. We have to be aware of it and be responsible for our choices, making them consciously and correcting them if we realize that we made a mistake. Disease is a turning point of your life. Consider that you have a chance, the chance to analyze your past and your present, and to choose your future. The chance to be able to change your life as you want, instead of being a victim of fate. The chance to discover your inner power to heal yourself. The chance to realize that you are the master of your life. If you had wrong reasons to live, find the right ones. If they were right but imbalanced, find an equilibrium. Find your balance between being useful for others, realizing yourself and your goals, and enjoying your life. When you find it, decide how concretely you can change your life. How can you be useful for others in a way which satisfies you without unnecessary sacrifices? What goal or project would you like to realize and be proud of yourself? How can you find pleasure and satisfaction in everything you do? What makes you happy in general? What makes you happy every day? When you find all these answers, do it. Understanding is only the first step, necessary but not sufficient. Put it into practice and do it regularly to see the results. I know you will succeed.